How's it going, everyone? In today's video, we have some big news on WWE interested in signing two top female stars. A WWE star will be out of action for an entire year and a whole lot more. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel to get the latest wrestling news. Alright guys, so for our first story of today, we have some big news on when William Regal will return to WWE. So despite being involved in a very important storyline, William Regal's time in AEW is reportedly over, and his return to WWE is actually going to happen a lot sooner than expected, as PWInsider.com reports that William Regal is finalizing a new deal with WWE and is currently expected to officially start after the new year, where he is expected to work in a backstage role. However, at this point in time, that remains to be seen. Next up, we have a major update on CM Punk's departure from AEW. So following the return of the Elite to AEW television, the only person left that has not returned is obviously CM Punk, who apparently does not want to come back at all, as Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer reports that CM Punk is still under contract with AEW and is being paid as of the weekend. It was also noted that according to those close to CM Punk, the holdup on his release is all on AEW's side, as Punk is ready to move on to his next project. Next, we have some news that a WWE star will be out of action for an entire year. So sadly, it looks like another WWE star will have to miss several months of in-ring competition, because in a recent Instagram post, Roode revealed that he underwent surgery on his cervical spine, fusing the C5 and C6 vertebrae, which will keep him out of action for 9 to 12 months. So we wish Roode a full and speedy recovery. Next up, we have a big update on Aaliyah's injury status. So due to multiple injuries, Aaliyah has remained on the sidelines since early September. However, there is finally some good news for the former women's tag team champion, as the Wrestling Observer reports that Aaliyah has been cleared to return to in-ring competition, but at this point in time, it is unknown when she will be back on Friday Night SmackDown. Next, we have some big news on WWE interested in signing two top female stars. So even though Triple H has brought back many former WWE stars to the company, it looks like there is also interest in bringing in two top female stars from Impact Wrestling. As Zero News reports, been told there is interest in Moose, Deonna Purrazzo, and Jordynne Grace of Impact Wrestling. However, Deonna is said to be the one who is on the radar the most right now. So now guys, I want to give you my thoughts and opinions on all of the topics that we discussed today. Starting off with our first topic, we did talk about William Regal and when he will be returning to WWE, and PWInsider.com is reporting that William Regal is actually finalizing a new deal to return to WWE. However, he is expected to start after the new year, and he is expected to work in a backstage role. And in my opinion, guys, I do think that William Regal could be a lot of help for NXT, because during the black and gold, when NXT was black and gold, William Regal was pretty much always seen backstage, and he did have a very important role when booking matches and in segments as well. So I am interested to see if that is his role, although I did hear that he could be a manager on the main roster for, I think, Raw or SmackDown, a general manager. However, that remains to be seen. The next story that we talked about was a major update on CM Punk's departure from AEW, and it looks like CM Punk wants to leave AEW, but AEW is pretty much, they are saying that the holdup is on AEW's end. In addition, the Wrestling Observer also said that according to those close to CM Punk, he is pretty much ready to leave to move on to his next project. And it all pretty much depends on when AEW will finally grant his release. And in my opinion, guys, he may end up in WWE if obviously there is a deal can be made there. The next story that we talked about was some pretty sad news for Robert Roode because he will be out of action for an entire year, it looks like. Because on Instagram, Robert Roode did say that he underwent surgery on his cervical spine, fusing the C5 and C6 vertebrae, and surgery for his neck will approximately take around 9 to 12 months of recovery time. So pretty much a whole year that Robert Roode will be out of action for, unless he does return or he recovers from his surgery a lot sooner than that. So we wish Robert Roode a full and speedy recovery, because that is a pretty serious surgery that he recently had. The next story that we talked about was a big update on Aaliyah's injury status. And it's been several months now, since early September, since Aaliyah had her last match. However, there is some good news for her return, as Dave Meltzer did report in the Wrestling Observer newsletter that Aaliyah has been cleared to return to in-ring competition. However, the report did not say when she will be making an appearance on Friday Night SmackDown, but the good news is that she has been cleared from her multiple injuries. The next story that we talked about was on WWE interested in signing two top female stars, and according to a report by Zero News, they are reporting that WWE is interested in Moose, Deonna Purrazzo, and Jordynne Grace. And however, Deonna Purrazzo is said to be the one who is on the radar the most for WWE right now. And I do believe that their contracts with Impact Wrestling ends pretty early on next year. So it will be very interesting to see if WWE ends up signing Deonna Purrazzo and also Jordynne Grace. So with that being said, guys, that is all of the news that we have for today. Please make sure to let me know your thoughts and opinions on all of the topics that we discussed today. Starting off with our first topic, we did talk about when William Regal will be returning to WWE. We also talked about, we had a major update on CM Punk's departure from AEW. We also talked about some pretty sad news for Robert Roode, that he could be out of action for almost a whole year after undergoing neck surgery. The next story that we talked about was a big update on Aaliyah's return from injury, as she has been cleared to return to in-ring competition. And the last story that we talked about was some big news on WWE interested in signing two top female stars from Impact Wrestling, those being Jordynne Grace and also Deonna Purrazzo. And that's pretty much all that we talked about, guys. So let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below for all of those stories. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.